Aries, hello. So this is your reading for August of 2020. I got an overall card for the reading, and then we're going to tap into the tarot, and then I also pulled a card from your spirit guides and your angels to give a little insight into that as well. So here we go. The overall energy for this reading is the Sun. Okay, I love getting this card. This is such a positive card. This is really like that new adventure, new beginning, really new outlook on something. Like this to me, when you get the Sun card, especially as an overall for the reading, it's a really positive start to August. Okay, if there was something that you were clearing on the way out, like it's going to be gone by August, because you're really coming into a new here. Okay, I always find the Sun card as well, for me, it resonates so much with being after the shadow. So it's kind of like we've done the moon side of things, like we've done that shadow side of things, we've sort of been doing a little bit of inner work, kind of dealing with that, and then we're really coming into the movement of the Sun now. So you guys have the Fool card, the Tower, and the Eight of Wands. So I feel like there was a lot coming in hot with like very much so this, like, so you have the Fool card, you know, that vibrant new beginning, kind of really like taking on the energy of like, you know, doing this damn thing, starting on something new, not really knowing what you're doing with it, but then having that Tower moment with it along with the Eight of Wands. So there was a communication of some kind, whether it broke down because there was a lack of communication, could also be a possibility. Seeing the Fool card and then the Eight of Wands, I feel like there's almost this rushing. I feel like you've definitely rushed into a situation. I feel like there was definitely a sense of possibly not really paying too much attention to what was going to happen or what could possibly be. I just think you sort of had an idea and you kind of ran with it, and then something fell apart though because of that. The thing that I'm getting though with it is timing. The Eight of Wands is often, yes, communication, but it's often a thing of just like quickly going with the wind and kind of like rushing straight in. And as clarification cards, we pulled the Six of Pentacles and the Devil card. So this is why I think that there's something that wasn't aligning with this. Okay, there was something, the Devil card is very much playing two sides of the field. It could possibly be that, and then you have the Six of Pentacles too. So kind of trying to juggle both sides, but it's almost like something was lacking and there wasn't this case of energetic alignment. Okay, something was definitely amiss because you were feeling this constant pull to be, you know, almost be one thing or be in two places at one time or be two different kinds of people, and it's almost like you couldn't sustain that juggling act. So that's what's kind of made this fall apart. If that's the case though as well, keep in mind though that it's quite a strong possibility that the reason that this didn't work out for you then is because you shouldn't have to be choosing between two sides of yourself or trying to be deciding between two things. Like this should all encompass, like this should be a complete thing that you dive into and you're so happy to do it and you're so excited to do it. But the fact is, with the Fool card and then the Devil card as well, I kind of feel like this just wasn't whatever it is that you were working on or wanting to start doing. There's something that was mismatched with that. You then have the Nine of Pentacles, the Empress card, and the High Priestess. So there's a lot of major arcana cards coming up with this as well. I find it interesting. You have a lot of Wands and Pentacle energy. So, okay, taking it back to the Nine of Pentacles, okay? You're going to be creating something definitely of abundance, but as clarification cards, I've got the Death card and the Ace of Wands here for you too. So whatever it is, it's definitely not, whatever you guys are going to be doing in August, it's going in a completely different way. I feel like it's the death, like the Tower, the ending of, I think whatever happened with this thing that you were trying to create, it could be a connection, it could be something else. I definitely feel like there was this was out of your control. So whether it was a relationship breakdown or it's something else outside of that, it's something's broken down, but this is really that death and rebirth cycle. Okay, so you're really coming out of a new and then starting this new adventure. Okay, and you can clearly see that with the Ace of Wands here followed by the Death card. So this is the death and rebirth of something completely new. All right, you have the Nine of Pentacles here. So you're taking with you the hard lessons, the hard work and things like that you're working on, and you're bringing that with you. Be mindful though, just having the Nine of Pentacles and the Empress and the High Priestess, there's a lot of power in this. Okay, you're coming into a space with a lot of power and you're going to project that out into the world too. Okay, and that's really important. But there's something in needing to, there's so much power in this. which is great. You know, that is wonderful. But just remember to still bring with you that full ambition. And I don't mean full in the literal sense. I mean the full is in the, you know, going with the thing that's the most exciting for you. Still remembering your power, but this isn't a game of power. You still want to be making sure that this is still what's most exciting for you. This still feels good for you. And that this is something that you actually want. And it's not just a power trip because the last thing that you were doing didn't work out. So Aries, you need to be mindful of this month is making sure that you're not just coming in with it. We're just like, okay, so this other thing didn't work out for me. So like, I'm just going to like come in fucking charging and I'm going to go do this new thing, but I'm just going to come in there with power. Power's great, but like, you know, relatability, vulnerability, all of those things, like that's showing emotion, that's showing depth as well. So you want to make sure that you're really tapping into that and not just tapping into your power. Okay, there is so much in power, but for you guys, especially being in Aries and having that fiery spark and, you know, that attitude and like that go get it thing, you also want to make sure that it doesn't lead to this complete power trip and that you almost want it to come from a place that's so organic for you as well. You guys then have the Four of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles in your future. So you're really, and just as clarification, you also got, as your clarifying cards, you also got the Four of Swords and then the Six of Cups. So you guys are going to find a lot in actually coming back to yourselves. And so this is the thing that I was talking about with making sure that you come off this like power train a little bit too, okay? You guys are going to be creating so much fucking abundance and something so fantastic here, but there's a case of coming back with the Four of Swords. You need to be coming back to yourself and coming back to that all-knowing and that power within you. And the sense of like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, but like checking back in with yourself. And this is where this power play comes into. It's like, okay, you guys are going to be so fucking full of it and so full of your own energy and your own power in doing this thing. And that is incredible. But don't forget though to come back to yourself and be checking in with yourself and taking care of yourself, okay? Because you ran the habit with what you've done in the past, and that really was that constant juggling at that polarity. But the polarity didn't serve you, because there's something where you guys do that polarity version of yourself, but then you lose yourself, okay? So you guys need to be making sure that you're really checking in with yourself and taking care of you first of all, because whatever it is, this thing that you're working on, or whether it's a connection or a relationship, or if it's, you know, something in work or play or something like that, like you need to remember the number one is you. Okay, that's why this overall energy is the sun. Okay, this is you guys, this is your happiness, this is your abundance, this is your freedom. You know, this is you guys really needing to come back into that energy every time, okay? You have the Ace of Wands here, so definitely something new, and then the Queen of Pentacles. So this is really this place of like, you guys are creating something really fucking epic here, and it's going to bring you a lot. Usually it does mean money. It does mean wealth, like an actual tangible wealth. However, you do have the Empress and the High Priestess here and the Four of Swords, so there can be a relationship in terms, but I think that there's something in this that brings you a lot of happiness, because then you have the Six of Cups energy here too. So this to me is talking about you either can have a relationship coming in from this, but this is also the fact of, because it comes in with the Four of Swords, you guys, you need to start learning what it is that you want and what you're like, okay, this might be the thing that you want for yourself if this is career-wise, okay? But you also need to remember though that it still needs to be in alignment with your highest excitement, with what feels good for you. You know, like what do you like, Aries? Like what feels nice for you? What feels like it kind of like gets you going? And you have the Sister of the Rose here too, okay? So beauty and devotion. So there's something so beautiful that you're creating, and I feel like you're going to really be setting the tone for the other star signs this coming month of August. But I also believe that there really is this sense of like you guys putting your heart and soul into this one. And I think that's probably what you lacked in the past, and what that polarity was not doing heart and soul. I feel like it was very much like mind and soul, or mind and heart, and having the two difference between them. But you're an all-encompassing being, so you need to learn how to really bring those all together. Okay, the sisterhood is really about the bringing together of everything. You know, a rose has its thorns, but it's this beautiful, majestic thing of nature that blossoms and that blooms and that can be all of those things, and then we bring all those facets together. So that's really what this month is about for you guys, is that finding your true happiness, knowing your true north, and also really keeping in tune with and knowing the difference between when you're really starting to separate from yourself and really knowing how to bring that kind of all back in, because this is very much an old pattern that you've been running, and we need to really come out of that this coming month. So I hope that has resonated with you. Please keep in mind that these are your general readings. If you do like a personalized reading, I do offer those, and I will leave the link in the bio below. Bye now.